Well, hello. Welcome back to The Juice is Worth the Squeeze. I'm Samantha.
And I'm Alicia.
And this is our friend Justin.
Hi, y'all.
So today our episode is WYD. Usually I have a bunch of emojis on there, like the eggplant, the splashy water, the squirt.
Don't forget the kitty.
The kitty cat with the hard eyes, the emoji with the hard eyes, the drooling one. It's about dating. This is going to be interesting after the turn of events today in life. So yeah, dating. What a weird concept in these past couple of years, I feel like personally.
Or longer than that.
Yeah, so much longer. Yeah. Well, you know what? I was thinking about this when I was doing the talk show in my own car because I like to prepare myself in the car. I look like a crazy person. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. I was thinking when you're first started dating, I started dating obviously started dating in middle school or whatever, and how cute that was, and how natural it was. You found someone who was all cute and sweet. Sweet, super sweet and organic and all this lovey stuff. And now as we're getting older, it's
bullshit.
Total bullshit. There's just so much layers to dating now.
Oh yeah.
You don't know people. You are trying to put yourself out there. You're trying to trust people. It's a whole different ballgame. I don't know about you guys, but it's just it's different. I can only say for myself, I know for your situations it's been different. I mean, the market out here for you, I'm like, the fuck?
I mean, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Don't say I'm sorry to me, but I feel bad. I'm always like, Justin, this sucks. Hold on, sorry, I have to fix this microphone. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, it does suck, and it can suck, and not in a good way. So, I mean, it's definitely a different experience in this, what I like to call, or I guess, is the biggest small town in the world. Everybody knows everybody's business. And it's crazy. So it kind of deters me from trying to dive into that dating pool as it is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. I mean, I don't know. Well, because I haven't done the dating websites. I haven't done any of that. I know I'm looking at both of you and you both have done it. How's that? How is it?
In some version or another.
Dating sucks. Dude.
It's bullshit.
And that's our episode. And scene. No, I mean, it is. It's one of those things. It's super hard to. I mean, as you're getting older, I think your expectations and things start changing in life. So it's
standards and expectations. I totally get that. Yeah.
Totally. I mean, come on. Before I even had Milo, it was just let's party all the time. I didn't have responsibilities. Nothing was just living day by day with somebody, or dating or whatever. Now it's as I'm getting older, I've got to pay my apartment. I've got to pay for all these different bills. I've got a kid. Just everything's different. And I have to be able to have someone that meets those.
Right. There's this added responsibility and obligations that you've taken upon yourself as you've grown older. It's just part of it.
Totally.
So owning up to that and owning that and being accountable to yourself and to what those responsibilities and obligations are makes a huge difference.
Super. And I don't think a lot of people are wanting to have those responsibilities.
I think
going into it.
What is that segue?
Well, I just don't think anyone a lot of people don't want to have that in the dating world. For me, when I say that I have all these different things, bringing someone into my life that doesn't have all those other, it doesn't match. It doesn't meet those expectations. And so it's like, well, give me all your attention. Why are you wearing, you know what I mean? So it's just like super like, what? I don't want to do this.
I think for various people in different stages of their lives, it boils down to their expectation is based on how their life is versus your expectations how your life is.
Right.
And a lot of times that just doesn't match up.
Right.
It doesn't mesh. Sometimes once in a blue moon it does, but I'm waiting for mine. I'm waiting for my blue moon.
You're like, where is it? What's going on here? No, I don't know. I feel like it has been such a crazy, like, I don't know.
And I mean, part of that, like Alicia, you have your responsibilities and your obligations too. Like, how's that for you? Like, you.
My responsibilities and obligations as being a single mom that has her kids full time, an overweight person. So honestly, the
Knew this was gonna go this way.
the dating pool actually gets more narrow for me because people have so many standards and expectations, and as do I. So all of these things, they just like narrow it even more and even more, and so then it's like it's so narrow. You're down to the group of people that have relationship PTSD. They have tons of they don't want to get in a relationship. They actually don't want like that. It's such a small pool that it's like.
Well, and to me, that like also shows like there's so many people walking around with such unresolved traumas in their lives.
Oh yeah.
That they can't.
Well, that's what kind of we talked about yesterday. It's like we were talking about yesterday in our podcast, like how from where we were, like 6, 10, even just from a year ago, like what we were doing, our trauma, our past, all this stuff, and how we're trying to forgive people, right? And like we're trying to move forward and be better and all these different things. And then it's like it's hard to bring someone back in when you're trying to be better, or like you're trying to improve your lifestyle, and then you bring someone in that hasn't faced all their trauma yet, that hasn't faced their truth yet, or their own honesty or whatever. And then you're trying to bring them in, and then you're trying to bring all that out of somebody. You're trying to be the Bob the Builder fixer. Like we're all, like all three of us are always trying to be in relation. Yeah, fixers. Put on our construction hats and we're like, let's get to work. People,
show me a project that I'm excited.
Yeah, but then it is. Sometimes it goes really well. Sometimes it just
doesn't.
Yeah. And I feel like over the past maybe couple years, a lot of people, especially with like the shutdown, people losing their jobs, people being unhealthy, people going back into their addiction, like all these different things, it has made it harder. Like there's the positive side and things and the negative like things, and like it has just made it harder to date just recently. Like, I mean, it's just been, and from my experience and like just seeing like everything around me, it's been a challenge. I took a lot of stuff and I took my trauma and I was like, okay, I'm going to try to turn this into a positive thing, and try to be better. And then again, it's like trying to take people in and then put my tool belt on and I can't.
Yeah, I think definitely we all try to be better in that sense.
Yep.
And we all like are continuously working on ourselves, trying to be better, trying to do better. And there's a lot of people out there that are not and that are. Yeah. And you sometimes meet at a level that you can meet, and you sometimes you don't meet at a level you can meet.
No.
And yeah, I mean, there's just
it's a whole different ball game, I feel like. I mean, this conversation was interesting because we all talk about our experience, like us three, like little kind of backstory. Obviously, you guys know about Alicia and I being friends. I met Justin, how many years ago? 5? 4? 4 years ago. Justin was one of our regulars at Dialogue and would always come in.
Formerly Dialogue, rest in peace.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
another episode.
Yeah, that goes into another episode. But we met, he was one of our regulars, always came in, always, no matter what. I mean, he was there for everything, supported, did everything, whatever. I became GM and I lost a bunch of servers and Justin was kind of just chilling at the bar, and I was like, hey.
No,
He did. He was like,
I
do
was
you
like,
need a server?
No, I was like, I didn't ask you to need one. I said, you do need one.
And I was like, get behind the bar now, bro. Let's do this.
Almost, yeah.
Yeah. So he became an employee, helped us out. We all three worked together. And it's funny because we actually we wanted to start a podcast during COVID.
Just before.
Was it just before?
Just before.
It was like right before everything shut down, huh? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, last summer, and it was our first episode was Fuck Boys.
Yeah.
I like how we bring it back.
Full circle.
But you know what? There's fuck girls out there too. So I want to say that, like, this conversation, we had talked about somebody before about this, like, we were going to talk about dating, and he was like, well, you know, da da da. And I was like, well, that's the thing. We're not going to talk about just bashing like men, because obviously we all three like men, but we're going to talk about how the girls are just as much as awful.
Girls are just as much awful as any. As
oh my god!
Everything that either I say or Sam says or Justin says, I mean, it goes both ways.
It goes both ways.
A woman does it, a man does it. Like
yeah, no, it goes both ways. There's just so much.
It's totally gender non-specific. Like,
yeah, totally.
A lot of the issues that we see and we experience can be experienced by anyone by any gender. Like, that's what it is.
And I mean, and we all experienced it. We're like, what is going on?
Be it directly or indirectly.
And even some of the things that like standards and expectation, like standards and expectations and all that jazz. Like it goes like it does like. Some women have harsher expectations, and some men have harsher expectations and standards, and it just plays both in that sense.
Yeah. Oh no, and it does. It like what's happening? I know I'm a mess today. Sorry guys, I just can't today. I can't get my life together. No, and you know, and when we say expectations, you know, I think every person, they say, well, I don't have expectations. Yeah, you do. You just don't maybe not know. Maybe you don't know them yet, or you're scared to say them. I don't know.
I think that can be a big part of it is people don't understand or know themselves enough to vocalize or realize those expectations that they have, that those deal breakers, those things that no, I'm done kind of situations.
Right.
So that plays a big part into it, is like knowing oneself enough to understand what those expectations or standards are, and not wanting to settle out of those.
Right.
Because there's a sort of insight when you get to the point of knowing what your expectations and standards are, what your deal breakers are, and not just giving a pass on them.
Right. No, I agree. And that's also too like boundaries. I think boundaries is a big thing, because a lot of people don't know how to set boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's taking time for me to set even boundaries of like.
Yeah, setting boundaries is hard. I mean, that goes back to childhood trauma.
Yeah.
Not setting boundaries, not having examples of how to set boundaries,
right.
And not having like people, you know, sometimes people have parents that don't have boundaries, that they just don't, like, they were never built that. Like, I mean, I grew up in a household like with no boundaries, and I was never taught like to set them for an expectation. I mean, I was definitely that person, the kid that liked to take care of everything, right. And then I grew into the adult that took care of everything, and that goes back to our second episode yesterday, is everything perfect, trying to take care of everything, right. Not knowing the boundary, not knowing to stop. I mean, you just keep replaying it over and over again, trying to do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result.
Yep.
And I think that's the same thing when it comes to dating too.
Oh yeah. You just keep going for the same thing, and it's like, oh wait, am I?
How red can I get this flag?
Is that a red, or is that like fire? If it's a fire, I'm gonna run towards it. Like I need it all in my life.
Blood red, because just curious.
Yeah.
Where's my standard and my boundary?
And then you have the issue. Then you have the issue if red is my favorite color. Actually, red isn't my favorite color. Green is my favorite color. But still, like you have those memes out there that are like,
yeah, red's my favorite color. Mine too. Yeah, no, it's a whole different, it's different. I mean, I don't know. And the reason we named it this way too, and let me get on that really quick, is, and I was telling Alicia this, I was like, well, we can go in like 20 different directions with this conversation, right? And I guess let's just go naturally, and we'll obviously do what we do is just sit here and bullshit the whole time, but, and speak our truth, obviously, right? But we named it this is because going back to dating when we were younger, social media wasn't like this, like, it had no influence on us, right? So like, I remember getting letters from like somebody saying, what are you doing? I miss you. Like actual genuine, like feeling like no emojis that have an eggplant. Like, oh, basically want to fuck me, right? Like that's what you're implying, right? Like
it's those notes in the bag that somebody actually took effort instead of like
WYD. Yeah, or like at fucking 2:00 in the morning, WYD. What do you think I'm doing? I'm fucking sleeping like a normal person. What are you doing up this late? There's a lot of yeah, I'm like, But like honestly, it's like, why are you texting me? Sorry, it is what it is. Anyways, but it is. It's like, I'm sorry. And to the men out there, like, I'm gonna say this. I was telling Lisa, I'm gonna talk about this on my own experience. Like, to a lot of people out there, you know, I love and like they're homies, and I have tons of guy friends and stuff like that. But when I post a picture on social media, don't ask me if I have an OnlyFans, and don't ask me to send you nudes. Like, I'm sorry. I post a picture of myself because I feel great about myself. This is the first time in my life I feel actual, like, confident in myself. So respect that. Don't send me a dick pic. I don't need to see your penis. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, but I don't want to see it.
You don't appreciate it.
I don't appreciate it. I'm like, dude, it's just rude. And then now it's because of like this whole social media. Everyone's been all like cooped in for like almost 2 years or, you know, whatever.
That's no excuse.
No, but it's no excuse. And I'm just like, bro, like, why are you being so disrespectful? Like, I get that I post a picture, and maybe I shouldn't do that anymore because it's just like.
I actually have a comment for that. So I saw this meme because I love memes. I love TikTok.
Don't we all
I
now?
love the sayings, and it's like sometimes like make me laugh hysterically. And it was like, just because a girl posts like a cute, sexy photo does not mean she wants sex.
No.
I see people post, and this is the meme says, I see people post God phrases, and they're dick munching monsters. That's what I wanted to say.
I love that. No, but it is. It's like it's just have respect. Like, I post a photo because I'm feeling good that day. I'm feeling myself. Like,
it's a reflection of you.
Yeah.
Not anything else. Not anything you
Not
desire.
anything,
It's
yeah.
a reflection of you and how you feel.
Yeah, I don't need to get, yo, where's your OnlyFans at?
Yo, do you sell content?
Yeah, yo, do you sell what? I'm A, fuck off. B, fuck off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, dude. And no one who has OnlyFans, like, do your thing, girls and boys. Like, it is who, that's you, and that's cool. I support it. It's just something I don't do. It's just, I joked around with it for a very long time. I was like, I'm gonna do an OnlyFans. Like, I'm gonna call it OnlySams. Like, like I joked around with it, and obviously, like, when we like lost our jobs and stuff, I was like, could I? But yeah. All the ideas, but I didn't, you know, and so like, yeah, so it's just all the emojis that I get, like, bro, cool, eggplant. I mean, like, you're 40. You shouldn't be sending me eggplants. Like, do you know what I mean? if now I'll take it.
I feel like we're going back to like fundamentals of childhood where I'm like, use your words.
Like, let me teach you 101. But no, it's just like that's like the dating scene now. It's like, is that what we're supposed to expect? Like, is that what that's like love? I don't, you know what I mean? Or like the whole whistling up to the window, you know, hey girl, what's up? Yeah, pull over, let me give you my number. Like, that's really gonna like make me want to pull over, and you know what I mean? Like, no, dude, that doesn't work.
Right, you're the one driving and they're calling you to pull over.
Yeah.
Like, nah, bro.
What? No. Don't drive.
Ow!
As I'm listening to like Kids Pop. I'm just kidding.
She's gone.
I'm by myself listening to Kids Pop. But no, I mean it's just different. It's just it's not what I expected, and like, and I say this in whatever. Alicia had commented on something about herself, which I wanted to punch her in the boob when she said that. But there is these like new like expectations because of social media. And I was actually going to make a post the other day with these girls, you know, bouncing their titties and they like pull back the shirt. And it's like, it's so weird. Like people have to like now be this in order for guys to like look at us. You know what I mean? Like, is that what we have to do in order to like find somebody? You know what I mean? It's just like so like.
Well, and I think that also plays into like societal expectations. Like,
yeah,
we've been so conditioned to expect this level of beauty from like the media,
right,
everything else, that if you don't match up to what that level is, what people don't understand is that's all filters, that's all airbrush, that's all manipulated some way or form.
Right.
That nobody, not even the people in the pictures, live up to that standard or expectation.
Right. Like we all have bumps. You know what I mean? Like we all have like our little like
Something.
Well, I have that. We all are Albuquerque people. We all have that like back of the arm, like weird eczema, like dry.
I don't have that. What is it? What goes on here?
Bro, it's like that New Mexico fucking
desert,
like we're all like snakes or some shit like that.
Molts every season or something.
See, it's too much fun.
We're a hoot and a half.
A hoot. Just a straight hoot. But yeah, you touched me.
I did not.
I was all in it there. And what do you think about that, Alicia?
Which part?
The social media part. Because you and I had that conversation the other day. You and I actually went off about it, about how like we see all these like girls. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Like that's just the part of like life. You know what I mean? It is what it is. We enjoy people and their, you know, whatever. But it's like every day when you wake up on your Instagram, you roll up on a feed and it's just a girl bouncing her tits or flashing her ass or doing something, or you know what I mean? And we're just kind of like, well, what the fuck?
Yeah, I feel like in some like I definitely know what you're talking about. The expectation for that, because some men think that that's gonna be it. Like that's what it is. Like that's what it should look like. Yeah, that's.
And it doesn't. And by the way, guys, it doesn't.
and they don't.
It is this is what you get.
And like models like that, they don't realize that like models on social media, models on anything are photoshopped. They're photoshopped into like they're this figure. They Photoshop it. Like there's not.
Oh, yeah.
They shade off the freckles. They add freckles, or they take off stretch marks, or they add stuff. It's just it's. And what it's sad is that this younger generation is growing into that. So this younger generation is realizing, oh, this is what I should look like. So then they want to become that, and it's getting younger and younger. And this is what I should be.
Yeah.
And it's sad. Like I know that a lot of that goes to filters as well.
Oh
like,
yeah.
People fall in love with the filter that they had done, and they actually get their face done to what the filter is.
Bro, I saw something on you know, like on the Snapchat like story like things. I barely get on Snapchat, but like, you know, and like
the suggestions.
Yeah, and I saw someone and it was like some guy wanted to look like Kim Kardashian, and I was like,
no, and they do,
because he put on a filter. He put on one filter and he was like, I had to look like her. And I'm like, that's the weirdest thing. I like, do you, boo? Like, whatever.
But that also raises the question: is that what you actually want, or is that what you've been conditioned to want?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Tough lines, tough area.
And I know like everyone's like, well, you guys are going out all over with this, but it's just like, and we are, but it's like, I feel like at the end of the day, it's like everyone's looking for somebody. We're all looking for a love. We're all looking for that human, that your person, your friend, your companion, whatever. But it's like harder and harder as the generation is, and like the technology and like all these different things. It's just getting harder because now we're all consistent of doing this the whole time versus this, talking and looking at the person and saying like, that's my human. Like, I love this person for this reason, you know what I mean? And not because it's like, oh, well, this chick's hot, look at her. You know what I mean? I know, like, or this guy's hot, like, you know what I mean? It's just like, so like, it's just a different world out there now.
Right, and I think one of the things that I've run into, like, in the dating world is, like, and be as minimal as that is with me lately, like, but meeting somebody.
You're like, listen, look.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I know my shit. Like, it is, I deal with it.
Right.
But I've been in those instances where I've been called intimidating, or I've intimidated somebody because I've made eye contact throughout the evening or whatever,
right,
instead of being on my phone or scrolling or whatever the case may be, or my attention is somewhere else because my attention is where I think it should be if I'm going on a date with somebody or meeting somebody up. I believe I should be focused on the interaction and the chemistry that's happening here.
Mm-hmm. So you're not intimidating, they're intimidated. And so they feel that your presence is there and you don't make yourself small for that. And some people make themselves smaller, and that's what I feel like social media does, and being on your phone, and your presence isn't there, you're not there. So when you're making eye contact, they're uncomfortable, or when you're trying, yeah, I can see that. I can totally see that, yeah.
Well, and that's what it is. It's just for me, like I said, for me and personally, just me and my experience of dating, you know, I'm just so used to, I've already known this person for so many years, you know, I've built a relationship, a friendship. We've never done the phone, you know what I mean? Like, and I sound so old school when I even say that, but I built relationships on organic, you know,
Foundations?
yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's just so different now. It's just so different. And like, there's like no lines, there's no boundaries now. It's just like, yeah, you should be mine. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
No, I don't want to be yours. Because why? Why?
I think part of another problem that I've seen is like, I communicate clearly and
Yeah.
directly. Like, if I'm into somebody, I let them know. That reciprocation is rarely ever matched.
Oh yeah, like
So
communicating.
that's rough. Like,
The communication. Okay.
yeah. Like, if you're not into it, let me know. If you are, let me know. Like,
Well, and that whole communication piece, I'm sorry, I know. Like, don't look at me like that. That whole communication piece actually stems back from, it's literally from social media starting.
Yeah.
People are so used to hiding behind a phone. People are so used to hiding behind dating apps. Like, they're so used to hiding behind this stupid thing that they can literally just say whatever they want.
Whatever the fuck they want to say.
Whatever they want on the phone, but then when you get them face to face, I get it. Like,
it ain't the same story.
it
It's
is
not.
not the same story.
It is not the same story. It's like so crazy. You're
It's
like,
not even
it's like remotely close. You're like, wait,
not even the same genre.
again, how red is the flag?
I don't understand that either. I mean, communication is huge as
Especially
as a human being. Communication is what we thrive off of. Like, we don't learn. We don't have a mouth for nothing.
Well, we have a mouth for multiple things. But
I know,
I totally don't.
Yeah, you walk right.
I'm just saying, like, we have vocal cords.
Yes, we do.
And I don't know, human interaction is like
then that's like, again, it's like that interaction when you're looking at someone face to face. And like
with eye
with
contact.
eye contact, that's when you really can see somebody. That's when you see who they are. You see that's when you can actually make that connection with somebody.
Right. To put it into like today's terminology, it's like that's the vibe.
Yeah, that's the vibe.
Can you connect? Like, are they shifty away? Are they
right?
Are they intimidated, or
Right.
are they matching that gaze? Are they matching like the energy? Like, there's so many factors to play into it, and it's almost exhausting.
Dude, it's like again, a lot of like relationships I have been have always started organically. They've always started that, again, foundation of like friends or, you know, a communication where we're just like, oh wait, this is actually, let's go hang out, let's go get some beers, like, you know, or whatever.
Mutual interests or something that
Totally.
isn't technology driven.
Yeah, totally. And like, yeah, I have no words because it's just like, even now, even though I'm not, like, I don't put a lot of my like stuff out. I mean, I do put myself out there and like people do know like I'm working out, I'm doing this. I don't put a lot of my personal like relationships out there because I like to keep that private.
Right.
And you know, I'm also trying to figure that all out. Like, I'm just trying to figure that all out. But as of like how I see how men, even women, have reacted to me, I'm not even like, I get hit on by some women and I'm like, thank you for the compliment. I really do appreciate that. And you're beautiful as well. Thank you. No, I don't want to come over. Like, thank you for the offer. I'm great. Like,
Okay, thank you.
But because again, that's the same thing. It's like women do the same thing.
Yes.
It's not just men. Women do the exact. It's like very, very strange. I'm like, oh, do I do that? Like,
Yeah.
should I start doing that? Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like what? Like
No.
Yes.
Wait, women? Is that what you mean? She's turning women?
He said yes. Milo's all, please.
Yes, please, have some more. No.
Yeah. No, it's just the whole thing. And I mean, I told Lacey, I was like, I don't even know if I could ever go on. Hey, Milo.
Mm-hmm.
You did.
Yeah, we were talking about stuff.
It wasn't about you.
It wasn't about you. It was a reaction that you would do.
Podcast.
Milo says hello to the world.
Okay, bye podcast.
Bye, podcast. But that's
I
the
heard
other.
podcast.
Yeah.
Tomato, tomato.
But that's the other thing too. It's like, you know, it's difficult because now I am getting older and I have now my expectations of what I want in a relationship. As again before, didn't really know what the fuck I was doing. Like, I just kind of date when I had a great chemistry with somebody, and then like a couple months in, you're like,
Oh no.
oh no, like what did we get ourselves into this time?
This was fun until it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. And then, but you know, it sucks because now it's like I do have a child, so it's like I brought, you know, a few people into Milo's life who have been amazing and have definitely loved and cared and respect and, you know, all those different things for Milo. But it's hard. Like, me being a parent, you have to like give that attention to both, you know, kind of thing. Like,
Right, it's who has
Yeah.
access to me. all
and
the
I'm
time.
horrible at it. I will admit that. I suck at it. Like, I'm like, Milo needs more of my attention, so bye.
Right. Which
But that's just,
that plays back into your responsibilities, your obligations.
Yeah.
What you accumulated throughout your life.
Yeah.
It's nobody's fault. It's nothing to blame for. It's where you are.
they're like, oh, I remember someone saying, you're just way too caught up in being a mom. And I was like, well, yeah, dude, like, I gave birth
How
to
do you
a
respond
child.
to that though?
Yeah, I know. I was like, I gave birth to a child? Like, that's kind of what I do. I was
Like, that came out of me.
yeah. Period. Like, What was your thing today? Thank you.
Okay,
thank
thank
you.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, period.
Love it.
But I mean, you two can attest to that more than any. Like, I don't have experience with children. Like, I like kids just fine. But y'all are the parents. Like, you do that.
Yeah.
You learn how to juggle
Yeah, that's what I do.
your life with your children and also the desire for romantic relationships, the desire for a partner that is not your child. Like,
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
But exactly, like having that, like, really, yes.
so, I mean, y'all can do all of that juggling, and I, like, hats off to y'all. Like, wow.
Yeah, it's actually very hard, honestly.
Yeah.
It's very hard juggling all that, wanting a romantic relationship or anything, and then juggling kids. Because I have found that people, not just found, but I know, like, reading, some of these blogs that I have that I want to talk about, like, some of them, like you don't know unless you have a kid, how can you relate? Like, you have to make time for it. Like, you don't know what the other person's doing that has kids. Like for me, like, I set up a babysitter, like, or make sure they're being taken care of, make sure they're fed, make sure they're bathed, make sure all this, and then then I want to go hang out. Like, but it's just like, if they don't have kids, they don't know that. They don't know they don't know all that you go through to do that, to actually, and the appreciation for that is like, you don't even, I am making time. Like, I'm trying, you don't appreciate it. Like, you don't, like, I'm trying.
And well, then that's the crappy part, that when you do and you're doing all that trying, they're like, you do all that and they don't appreciate it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like, they're just like, well, not even a thank you.
I mean, and
like, you just told me thanks. I didn't say thank you.
part of that is, like, they don't see it because they've never had to experience it. So it's not even something that's on their radar.
Right.
Like, to have to acknowledge that you've put that much effort. Like, and I think that's something that a lot of people, if you're going to try to develop or engage in something with, like, a single mom like you guys, is understand that they have a whole other world that does not revolve around the same expectations or standards that you have within yours. The freedoms, the liberties that you get to take day in and day out, those aren't allowed to you the same way.
Right. Oh, I get it. It's
Yeah. I mean, there's,
dating.
Like not even just dating, but even just, like, hanging out with somebody. Like, I think it was about over a year ago, maybe the beginning of I don't really remember, but beginning of last summer, like, someone had told me, hey, so let's come hang out at my friend's pool. And the pool can entertain your kids while you entertain me. And comments like that really fucking just turned, like, I'm just like, I'm just like, don't fucking talk. Like, I'm good. Actually, we don't even need to talk anymore because your comment is, that was it. Like,
inappropriate.
And that person doesn't,
Disrespectful.
it's totally disrespectful. And that person doesn't have kids, so they don't there's boundaries, respect. Like, what the?
That's what, again, it's like this whole thing is just like,
What the what?
What the what?
it's just this whole whole dating, like, pool. It's just like you get all these different, like, avenues of, like, what the what? Like, what? Why?
Is that going to be the hashtag for this episode? What the what?
And then that emoji all up.
Like, some of the comments, I'm just like,
Oh, dude, some of the comments are mind blowing.
it's like, it's just, you're hiding behind a phone. I
Darren,
swear,
say it to my face.
say it to my face.
Bet.
Bet. Say it to my face.
Say it to my face.
I-
What really happened?
Yes, I would. Yes, totally. Like, say it to my face. You know what? Here's my address. Say that shit to my face. Bet you won't say that to my face, especially you.
Yeah.
You won't do it.
No, and they won't. Ooh, that like triggered me like really bad because sorry, I'm gonna bring this up because I have to. You're right. They're hiding behind a phone, and so I, talked to somebody, cordially just talking to him, met him 3 years ago from the bar scene, and we had a lot in common, totally got along, and bet if he had said the words that he said to me when he wanted to bail, just ghost, and not giving me the honest answer. He wanted to blame, this person wanted to blame something from my past because it was an easy get out. And couldn't say it to my face. I said, bet, say it to my fucking face. If something happened, there was a situation I'm not going to get into because it's a way long story. But yeah, he was hiding behind a phone and had a lot to say about my past, to use it as an excuse to not talk to me because he didn't want the responsibility of a child. He didn't want all the craziness that's happening in my life. I have all these different avenues and different things that are happening. He didn't want to be like, you know what, I can deal with it. I can be patient. You know what I mean? Whatever. Instead, it was I'm going to just not talk to you. But I'm going to go ahead and just blame something that you told me because it's easier, even though I don't know the situation. I'm going to blame that situation on you, and then I'm going to use it to just say peace, right? I said, bet, come to my fucking house and say it. Show me the proof. Show me the proof of what you're saying to me. Show me. Show me.
Right, it's
and nothing.
Where's your spine?
Yeah, exactly. Be a fucking human and talk to me. Don't blame something that I told you in privacy. It's basically what I'm trying to say is I told something to Alicia, and this is how this happened, blah blah blah, and she's like, I don't want to talk to Sam anymore. I'm gonna use that situation to just bail on her, and then never talk to me again. But you have no proof that actually happened to you. You know what I mean? I'm just wow, you have no spine. You're not a fucking human. Talk to me. More than likely, we can figure out the solution. We can figure out the problem. We can figure out all these different things. Bet, talk to me. But you can't. You were hiding behind this phone because you're a little pussy.
Right.
Sorry, sometimes I'm this motherfuckers.
That totally plays into how so many people act nowadays. It's they use excuses that have nothing to do with them.
Nothing. Has nothing to do with them.
To bounce out because they're too scared or intimidated or
right.
Cowardice runs deep.
Yeah.
I mean,
totally.
I'm whatever.
You're the emoji that just whatever. We have our own emojis now after this show, by the way.
Yeah, I don't even. Some of these things I don't even have to say on them because it's. I feel like it goes in deep hiding behind phones. It's not just.
But it's with the comments, it's with all that stuff. Even with that person saying that to you, it's say that to my face. What kind of human says something like that? You really think that I want to have a person in my life that's going to say, the pool will distract the children. I don't.
Oh yeah.
I don't want you in my life after that. That's nothing I want to be surrounded by. Okay?
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, the pool.
You're right. I'm gonna marry you tomorrow.
The pool will entertain the kids.
The pool will entertain the kids, and you can entertain me.
No, actually, I don't even want that. I don't even know why you thought that comment was cool.
And then you go,
yourself.
Yeah,
I'm good.
You already know how to do it. Keep doing it.
Yeah. I'm good. Shit like that. Yeah. Comments like that are when on
or when people just stop ghosting people.
So
I know. I have your back, but I'm saying that for you.
But even the same thing goes to Instagram. When you post, or when I post, just like you said, when I also have received the same messages. Yeah. Do you sell content? What is your OF? What the OF? What is your of? I am too old.
Proper English.
Can we just spell out words now?
No.
Can you say
it's called WYD. I had to figure that out. I was WYD. I even went to my house. What the fuck is WYD? What are you doing? I was oh my god, for real? You could have just asked me, what are you doing? Yeah. You just in your phone you just put it said, and I know you ain't texting me. I know you're fucking. I know you're going. I know you ain't texting me. I know you ain't texting that shit.
I did the same thing. I'm all IDDAF. I'm I don't get. Well, I I didn't get it. Like, I'm at the generation mark where I have to look that stuff up sometimes, and I don't know.
Dude, I have a chart on my phone because I work in an environment where it's all teens and they're speaking like language, and I'm like, is this like tongue? Like, what's happening?
Do you need an exercise?
Yeah, I'm like, did I just walk into a gang fight? Like, like
I
you're like throwing signs.
I can't do it. Like, I was like, can we go to proper grammar and English and
Can we go back to
pronunciation?
proper like what humans should be doing, and it's talking and
Communication.
Hey, I think you're beautiful.
Communication in not the way that it is now.
No. Hey, I think you're beautiful. I think you're handsome. Would you like to go have a beer with each other and actually go?
Or do you sell content? Like, I am like over this. Like what?
Like what content were you even talking about?
What were you hoping to buy?
And how much are we looking at? I'm just kidding. Well, because maybe. I'm just kidding.
Fake news.
Yeah. It depends on what you're looking at, right here, buddy?
Yeah.
Do you like toes?
Yeah.
You said that so clearly.
That was so good. Do you like
Or
do you
is that
like
a no?
But that's also funny because last night we were sitting here and Alicia and I are in this, conversation, blah, blah, blah. And her messenger, that's why we were laughing so hard, because her messenger was ringing. And it was some random, it was legit in some other language. We have no idea. But it's like, what was going to happen in that conversation? Hello. Like, do you want to send me some pictures? Like, what is, you know what I mean? Like, hey, I think you're beautiful. Do you want to hang out sometime? Dude, where are you? Like,
No, and that's the thing too.
Where's
It's all
from?
this like social media stuff. So then you're all social. It's like social media, and I don't know about anybody else, but my messenger it's like off. It's off the chain, and I don't even like. I literally have blue dots off the chain. 1990.
Off the chain.
off the chain.
It just like I can't with it. I mean, there's so many.
Oh, dude, it's ridiculous. It's like, again, I don't even know. That's why I don't.
She's still scrolling.
Yeah, no, like I just.
Well, that's the weird part. It's like, okay, that's the other part. Like on Facebook, I don't know how people find, like, I know they're like, a lot of them are like the fake accounts and shit, but it's like, oh, dudes. And I'm like, where the fuck did you find me? And like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is happening here? And it's like literally like a scroll of just like, dude. And then I'm like, okay, I only follow people if they like follow my mutual friends. Like, if I know they follow like you guys, I'm like, yeah, maybe I do know them. Maybe I met them at the bar one night. I don't know. But if I don't, I'm like, no, dude, you're a fucking a psychopath. Like,
Honestly, who calls people on Facebook Messenger? Okay,
I don't know,
literally, like Snapchat, Facebook Messenger, like
call me on my actual phone number.
if you don't have my number, don't call me. You don't need to be called. You don't call me. Like you don't need to call. And honestly, those I know. I was reading. I read this, and I've actually had a few conversations with people. Like, why do people use Snapchat? Like, why is that the new thing? Or why do people use Facebook Messenger? And it's because it's erasable. Like people like to hide that stuff. Like people like to.
Oh no.
Oh, let's hear this, Justin.
What do you mean? Oh, no.
What do we not know?
I found out that on like messengers, since like Facebook and Instagram are together, right? They have the same settings.
Together. That was awkward.
I
You're like
mean,
the silliest people all together, by the way. But
they both have the same messenger settings. So you can set it to where the messages vanish. However, the other person can also set it back to where the messages don't vanish. So anytime somebody tries to vanish my messages, set that bitch back. Oh no, receipts. Like, I'm hard on that. Like, if you're gonna say something, own up to it. Have accountability for it.
Yes, that was
Don't
like
run
another
scared from
like.
it. Like, don't be a little bitch about it. Like, own up to what you have to say. Otherwise, don't say it.
Justin is actually really. I've seen some of his messages, and I'm like, oh, damn. Do you
And
want
I'll
to text
say
one for
that
me right
shit.
now?
Anything I say in text, I will say to a person in person.
Bet.
For real. Like,
Oh, I know, and it is exactly. Dude, you may have say something, except especially with these like little comments that like we as females also get. And I'm like, bro, that's just not like I'll tell people like, dude, not cool, like or whatever, and like they'll be like, whatever, you like it, and I'm like, no, just own up to your fucking, just say, oh, I'm so sorry, Sam, like I apologize, I didn't mean to, whatever, offend you. Instead of, oh, you like it, no, dude, actually I don't like it. Actually, don't fucking talk to me, or yeah. And I don't think people like that. I don't think when you're like, just own up to your shit. I didn't like it. No, don't. Or anything
I don't
else.
think people like being called out on their shit when their shit happens.
Well, and honestly, when I was like, back to your point about, I know men and women, they do the same thing. Like, I mean, there's women out there that cheat on their husbands that see men, and then vice versa. There's men that cheat on their wives that see other women, or cheat on their wives to go see other men. I mean, it all goes, always. And so there's no, but when I was actually looking at like blogs and like dating stuff like on the internet, men's dating stuff is so much different than women's dating stuff.
Like,
so
when you
have menshealth.com, you go to like Sex and Women, and that's where they talk about relationships.
Mm-hmm.
That's where Sex and Women is where they talk about relationships. But then you go to a women's type of like blog, and it's like relationship tips. It's not all about sex. Like literally the sexual relationships, and then it goes into like.
And I looked at your phone. And
it was like
giving missionaries. I was like, what are we gonna talk about right now?
There's like there's like 50 best sex positions every couple should try. But there's also like pros share how to vaginally fisting the right way. Like this is the shit.
And it went there.
And someone was like, look.
We need a how-to.
But this is what I'm saying.
I was looking this up. I think you'd love me more if I just straight up deep fish you. I looked it up on this www.
So, by the way, I wasn't
Men's stuff is totally sexualized, and it's
Of
like
course
sex
it is.
positions, and like I want to love bottoming, but it's just so awkward. Like I mean, just like all these like.
Is it?
Is it? I was like waiting for the girl. I was like, come on. The thirst of a sex thing at the end of the world. Like this is so. I mean, I don't know who would go to a blog for a relationship advice. I mean, you probably should talk to your family or your friends.
You should probably see a therapist. We'll go ahead and start putting some up on. Well, no, and that's also a thing. Like, I had a conversation with somebody just a few days ago about this. Like, you can't get away from sex. And that's the unfortunate part. It's always going to be bam, right in your face, no matter what. I mean, it's so weird. It's interesting. Oh, wow. You're going to meet people like that.
Rude.
Bet. And I'm only saying this because you bring that up, and it's like, yeah, you shouldn't get any kind of advice on blogging and stuff like that, because it's not real. I mean, it's not like
it's not relevant to your own situation.
No, and it's like there's so much we all go through stuff. We all have our own shit, right? Like we all have our own, this conversation was more like addiction. We all have our own addiction, whether it be drugs, alcohol, sex, being with certain things. And, it's just like being on the internet is not going to help any of that, because people are going to say some shit on there. Well, you can look at this, and I promise you right now, I'll fix your relationship. No, dude, you have to fix your relationship, or you have to fix yourself, or whatever on your own
to make it right.
Exactly. Because no matter what, especially with certain, it's even like alcohol. Alcohol is always going to be on your feed. People making drinks, people having fun with drinking. If you have an addiction to it, you probably shouldn't fucking be on social media, because you're going to be like, well, I can still have fun drinking.
Right.
They're having fun. I drink to have fun. You know what I mean? Like those things are coming out. Oh, well, they're smoking weed.
Automatic connection between fun and liquor, and that's,
So none of these blogs, I can never. That's why I'm like, okay, I need to talk to my friends, because, or like, I have to go see somebody, or I need to work it through my own head of like a relationship, or
work it through your own head on how what you want, what feels comfortable in your own head.
Totally, yeah.
But yeah.
Looking through a lot of those things that are like these blogs and these websites, it's so sensationalized, because they're aiming for that sex sell, that attention grabber. So I mean,
Yeah, no,
there's
you're
so much of
definitely
it that
right. Yeah.
doesn't.
me too.
It's just not applicable.
I mean, and that's the thing. I realize that. Well, and I know that's not just Americans, but it's like everybody. Because I feel like I don't know, different countries. I'm like God, my little brother's just doing things up. Like, it's just different in like different countries. But
What is he doing things up in Japan?
bro, he's living it up. He's playing video games like all the time. Like fuck that.
Oh, video games.
And like living it up. He's like doing like fucking awesome shit.
Doing the damn thing.
But no, we're all looking for like the satisfaction. Like it's just like, we're all guilty of it.
Instant gratification.
Yeah.
That right there, like you're looking for that, like that thumbs up or that like or that tap
Exactly.
or that.
When we had this conversation the other night, because it was just like, we're posting pictures because we want to feel validated. We want to feel, because we all do it. I'm guilty of it. I do it because it does. It feels good when you get someone that's like, you look beautiful, or you know what I mean, the thumbs up, or not when I get the fucking. I swear to God, if I get one more eggplant, I'm like, no, dude, I don't like eggplant like that. Like, no, bro. Bet it doesn't look like an eggplant. Prove it. Prove it.
That's-
Show
there's-
me.
Yeah.
That's the eggplant. It's like me.
Aww. Just an
That's
emoji
not
back.
me. Ew. Ew.
Be ready for my comments back. No, but we all do it. We all do that. We all have to have that instant, like, yeah, that's what we all want.
We don't have like. I wonder, because I don't put like fire emojis, heart eye emojis on anybody's stuff.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever. I mean, I do it when it's like something like with a dog, or like you know what I mean, like when it's like a dog, and I'm like, yay, like that makes me so excited.
You know,
Or,
but
like,
you also
I-
have told me that you'll just scroll through and
I do
double
like
tap everything,
like my
everything.
friends, all my friends' stuff because I feel like that's supportive. I'm like, oh cool, you're celebrating your fucking kid's 5th birthday. Cool. I'll like shit. Like I'll go through and I'm like, yeah, cool. Whatever. But I don't go on someone's story like, oh my gosh, hard eyes. Like, oh my gosh, fire. Like I don't do that.
I don't send the squirt.
I don't send the squirt. I don't send that. I just don't.
Ew. No, I know it's weird though. It's like,
But I don't know if other women do.
dude, I don't know. I was like, now that you said that, I'm like, I don't think I literally legit. If I see something that's like, if it's like,
Somebody somewhere has to. It's still happening.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh I'm sure.
Somebody somewhere has to.
Yeah, I was gonna say something and then I was like, I'll backtrack
Better
my.
not.
Yeah, I better not. I'm like, the eyes are twitching. Because yes, it does actually. But another trigger. This is why I drink. Just kidding. Yeah, cheers. No, but I mean, I'm getting older. I know that like I'm looking for something right now. Honestly, I'm chilling. Like things are just, they need to be where they need to be. And like I'm just trying to figure it all out and maneuver and just kind of work around with what I have and whatever. But I'm also like, I need to work on myself too. Like I know myself and I'm like, man, I've always been looking for something. I've always wanted the comfort of another human in my house. And, I love that. I love that feeling. I love the feeling of having a family or building a family and stuff like that. But am I looking in the right places? Am I doing the right, where?
What are the right places though?
Right. And
Who's
I'm
to
like,
say?
who is to say? And who is to say? And it's like right now I know I'm like, okay, maybe I need to work on myself just a little bit more and like be alone, be okay in my own house and like build this house for Milo and I, you know what I mean? Like those kind of things. And that's fine, but in that time, it's like so crazy just to have like the amount of, like, I just want people to be respectful and I want people to understand like there's a boundary. Like if I post like today, I posted a picture of my back because I got done, my tattoo done by Rudy. And I fully trust this person, Rudy, with my back. I mean, he sees my body, once a month to tattoo me, and I trust him for those reasons, right? I trust him completely, 100%. So if I post a picture of my body because he's doing amazing work on it, I don't want to get a comment like I just got one that's like, can't wait to see that. What? Like, what do you? First of all, you're seeing it. Sorry,
It's already there.
It's already there. Second of all, you ain't gonna see anything. Like, what do you? I already know what you're trying to.
What's your intent behind that?
Well, it's funny because I actually told Rudy this, and I say it because we were laughing because somebody, I'm not even kidding you, when I first started working on his back tattoo, someone said, I'm going to be graphic anyways. He said, I can't wait to come on Buddha. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? That's disturbing. And I'm telling Rudy this, and he's like, wait, what? And I'm like, yeah, like this is just like, this is what the shit I get for. You know what I mean? Like that, it's rude. No, dude, this is like something that's sentimental to me. Don't disrespect me like that. That's rude. Go come on your own Buddha.
Ew.
Actually, I texted him. I was like, would you? Never mind. I won't even say what I said. Yeah, I won't, because they're gonna be like, oh, fuck you, Sam. Like, I didn't. I won't say what I said back to him, and then I've never heard from that person ever again. But
No harm, no foul, though.
Yeah, no,
Like,
exactly,
no
but it's
loss off
just-
your back.
But that's the thing. Is like if I post something like that, you know what I mean? Like it's just like, dude, I want to be able to represent my tattoo artist, like show what his work is off, or whatever artist. I do that. I get tattooed by so many people. If I post a picture of something, don't be disrespectful. Like just, wow, that's beautiful, or like, you know what I mean? Like that's dope. You're so lucky because it reflects both me and the artist too. Like you know what I mean? Like it's just.
Yeah.
Be a human.
That just goes back to hiding behind a phone. I mean, they think
Yeah, say it to my fucking face, man.
they get so brave. People get so brave behind social media.
Would somebody be walking around in that shop saying that while you're getting your piece done?
Yeah. Oh my God, no! I can only imagine if someone said something like, I could only imagine like Rudy would be like, what the fuck, like.
They have their face smashed in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And I'm gonna stop tattooing you because Sam's gonna beat your ass. Yeah, exactly.
so back to like the whole dating and the dating apps. Like everyone's like behind their phone. So back to what you were saying about images and stuff like that. So when you're on a dating app, you literally just go and you're just like, oh, you're going off of even Facebook or even Instagram. You're going off of what that person looks like. You're not going off of that person inside.
Yeah.
Like, you're literally so. It just baffles me on how many people think that I mean, people have found love on dating sites, people have found love, but how they think that they're going to find this true connection just by appearance.
Okay.
And how they're going to find connection just by what this person says. This person can be a complete liar. I mean, I have talked to people that have been on dating apps and they're just like, oh yeah, I totally got catfished. Oh yeah, she showed up and she said she was 25, she was 45 years old. And we're meeting for coffee. I'm all, bro, like for real, you're gonna lie to me like that? She's like lying, complete lie. Like she's like, and I'm like, dang, that sucks.
I mean, like I said, as we're getting older, I'm looking for a genuine connection with someone. I want my best friend. I want someone that's gonna sit right here laughing his ass off with me right now, enjoying.
I don't swim that way.
I love you, Liz. I love both of you, but we all know. But we all know. No, but I do. I want that connection with somebody. I don't want just her and I actually talking about. I was like, I don't want to just be the girl with tattoos and red hair, hot chick, like because it's exciting for them. Like, no, I want someone to want to be.
Where's the
with me.
substance after the excitement?
Yeah, bro. Like
If that's all you want is that like flash of excitement, you're in for a big disappointment.
Yeah.
Because, well, or maybe you might be pleasantly surprised because shit gets crazy. But what else?
But no, and exactly, it's like they see a picture, they're like, oh, yep, I'm gonna send her a fire emoji, and after that, we're gonna get married.
Instant love.
Yeah, we're exactly, and it's like, dude, no, you don't know me. Bet. Actually, ask me on a date, a proper date, not.
And you actually have said that to quite a few people.
Oh my God, I said that to so many people. I'm like, bro, seriously? Well, I've asked you. Let me scroll through our messages. Bro, can you meet up for a beer?
WYD.
Yeah. You looking fine as a book. I'm all.
You up?
Like you never ask me ever on a hey, can I actually, I'm so old school. It's because
I'd like to take you out sometime when
I would love to have dinner with you. Can we go at 5:00? I was gonna say something and not go to an orgy. Dun, dun, dun. But it's like that's where I'm at. So yeah, when I post a back picture or I post a fucking photo of myself, and like there's a lot of great people on there, and they are loving and supporting, and I couldn't, but there is those fucking ones, and I'm like, just stop, because we're not gonna go anywhere with this. Like, I'm not.
That was dead before.
Yeah, like there's nothing there. Like, because I bet you if you hung out with me, a whole lot would change.
Yeah, I feel like that our
Do you
generation.
need anything, guys? You
No.
good?
I feel like our generation
Here. Okay.
is like a cutoff for that though. Like there's we're kind of in the mix of like old fashioned, like we want to be the old fashioned, but not like we're still all super independent, but we're not like completely old fashioned where it's like.
Well, on that note, like we grew up with like role models, like generational role models, like grandparents, parents, like who did that, like organic finding of each other and like that connection, that building of the relationship all together. So we see that we idolize that so much. And then we're also torn between also desiring what is current, what's going on now, like and trying
Exactly. Yeah.
to do that same thing. It's those two often don't combine and mesh well with each other, and that's the hard part.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's exactly what I was saying. Like they just, and like I definitely want to like old fashioned, like not like we're like it does like we say old fashioned, but it's literally like that's 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Ask.
Old school.
Just
ask. Last year.
Yeah. So I'm not. You think that all these like emojis, you think saying like asking me if I sell content, you think if I like. All this shit, like you think, oh, I'm gonna swoon over you.
That's what I'm saying. It's like when you guys, and you know what I'm talking about, and like you're driving, and someone's like, "Yo, baby girl, what's up? You looking good in that car." It's like, you really think I'm gonna pull over and just, we love each other. I want to marry you today.
It's like,
no, bro, don't do that.
And we all three of us understand. Like it takes good relationships take time to build. Like it just does. Like it does take time to build. But honestly, like if there's those conversations, it's those face-to-face conversation, it's those in-depth, even if it's in a text message conversation, you're just like having a good conversation. It's
right.
Those actually mean more than I like your ass.
Well, that's not conversation. It's not conversation.
Well, yeah,
exactly. I like your vibe, or I would really love to buy a picture of you. I would really love to, like that kind of shit. Like,
and we joke around. Like I know there's a lot of people may hear this. They're like, well, fuck you. I'm just joking around. I do joke around. I do play jokes, but don't.
You make it known that you're joking.
Exactly. I'm like, I know. I'm like, 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 I like your ass. And it's like, oh, I like your dick. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, and I'm like, just kidding. Don't. Like,
LOL, JK.
Yeah, like, you know what I mean? And like, that's just like an example. I mean, there's nothing like that's been like that, but it's just like, yeah, I want to hear a genuine fucking like compliment. It would be very nice to hear, or like, a conversation. Hey, you looked beautiful yesterday. Instead of, damn, girl, you looking fine as a book.
It's a book.
It's fine as a book. Or you look like a whore. I get the best of both worlds. It's a very confusing life.
I mean, and to me, like, yes, like on the apps or whatever that I am, like, whatever.
Yeah. By the way, how is that?
Yeah, I would actually really love to know.
This has been a great episode. We're probably gonna hit 2 hours on this one.
Are we hitting 2 hours? Oh, we're at 1:01.
We're at 109.
We still have a lot to go.
Yeah.
No, yes, there are very attractive men on these sites. Yes, and will I look at their profiles? Yes, of course. I mean, everybody's drawn to that aesthetic beauty, like
Of course.
great. However, I'm also attracted to not typical or stereotypical beauty. Like my type is all over the board. Like no two guys that I've found attractive really like are the same. Like there's differences. So if I start talking to somebody and like I don't start with the like typical like, hey, want to hook up? I'm not that person. I'm not driven initially by my dick. Like it is not the wayfarer. Like hello. That's not who I am. That's not who I'm ever going to be.
Right.
Yes, I had my past. I've been a little hoe. It is what it is.
Haven't we all? Haven't we all been a little?
And I own that, and I take responsibility for that.
Right.
But like, it's people grow, people change. I understand that like that instant hookup culture is just not me. It's not what I'm thrived for. Yes, I can be turned on by a dick pic or whatever, but like if that's your first sell, your first message to me, I'm like, nah, hard
It's like
pass.
and it's also like how many fucking dick pics are you saying that to? Like, did you just put that on like a
And
like and just send all of it? Yeah.
for me,
Like, send all.
personally, I'm like that gives me the perception of if that's what you're leading with, that's what you're giving me as your first impression. Your first impression should be the best impression, right?
Totally. Oh yeah.
You should be putting your best foot or dick forward, as it were.
Yeah.
I'm not about that. Like, talk to me, ask me a question, like engage with
Yeah.
me.
Get to know me. Like, ask me my name.
The fastest way to make me drop my pants is to actually get to know me.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. No. I there's no reason to be sorry about that.
I think there's a lot of I think there's ooh, okay, like we go.
I've never done this before.
I've never done this before.
I totally forgot my train of thought.
Because we've never done
First impressions, dick pics, I don't know, get to know me before.
Oh, I know there's a saying out there for the young kids, especially here in New Mexico. Not here for a long time, but here for a good time. I probably sound like super Deborah saying that. Like, not here for a long time, but I'm here for a good time.
Oh, wow. Wine.
All over.
With her wine. Yeah. We'll get you a box of wine. That'll change things up. Oh, do not ever give me a box of wine. Ever. We'll sit on a patio, crossing our legs, wearing like all kinds of jewels, and it'll be a whole hoot.
And a half.
Sorry, I had it. Too much fun. Imagine us three at a bar.
Some of you don't have to imagine the experience.
Yeah, they're like, God damn it. The two straights in one day. Like, it's just too much fun.
It's like we've actually scared people off. Like they're like, what are they talking about?
Oh my God.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are they
What's
talking
happened?
We actually one time were sitting at Los Poblanos and everyone was all with their cute little hats and I walk in and I'm all, what up, bitches? I'm already drunk. I had like mimosas and
and you got like your hair dyed, so you're all colorful. And then like I think I was wearing a couple dress, my long. Like everyone was like wearing white. It felt like I felt like everybody was wearing white and real dark.
I
And
was wearing black. Like,
yeah,
all black.
we were like, and we go there, we're just like, yeah, give us a drink.
and then the conversations were like, dick, 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 dick. I could just feel the eyes, like
Eyes.
Birdie.
yeah,
The
like
judgment.
oh, you.
I mean,
made
it
us.
was hot outside, but damn.
Yeah. So yes, imagine going to the bar, or if you have. Sorry, guys, we're sorry if you've ever.
We're not sorry.
Never sorry.
That was last summer. That was actually it.
Oh, that's
It was
crazy.
hot. That was a good time because like we didn't just stop there.
No.
No. We just kept on going.
No, we actually kept going and it got even like more and
more and more and more and more, and the layers of just shit on shit.
The fuckery.
Fuck it.
it got like
Bet.
No.
Prove it.
totally. That's actually us all the time when we all hang out.
Where's your proof?
Show me. But that day we actually went to dialogue.
Oh,
We actually went to dialogue and then
I remember.
We remember.
Oh, we remember. I have a video of it actually because I'm trying to be sneaky, taking a video of somebody with their shirt off, and I was like, "Who the fuck? What in the fuck is happening over here?"
And like,
it was,
Justin, take a selfie so I prove.
there's a selfie of me and Justin, and it's a video.
Oh, that was that. And then we went to Marvel.
Yeah.
And then we went to Red Door.
Yeah.
Oh, we did go to Red Door.
Rough, dude. I don't know how we make it sometimes. I'm like,
How many drinks did we have?
Don't ask.
Red
Then
Door.
we have to answer
just keep doing it. It's like I've never done this.
this hour.
Oh yeah. So no, we're a hoot.
You're totally excused.
Oh, that was the old man hip walk.
I'm older than you.
Old man hip walk.
Dun dun dun. How old is really Justin?
How old is Justin really?
Yeah. Wait.
You totally messed that up.
Oh man, it's too much fun. I hope you guys understand like the dating world. I'm sure people are like, oh my god. It's been a chaotic mess for us too. Like
Yeah, no.
or
If you were to ask my advice on the dating world,
Don't do it.
chase.
Just kidding.
Chase dreams, not people.
Yeah, don't chase people ever.
Chase dreams, not people, and also catch flights, not feelings.
That was her main thing she wanted to say.
I did.
Sure. She was like, I'm gonna say it.
I'm gonna catch flights, not feelings.
No, and I mean it does suck because shit, I have a big old heart. Like all I want to do is love, and I always put it in the wrong places. Or
And
maybe I don't put it in the wrong places. I don't know. It's always a learning experience.
it's always a learning experience, and
and it goes back to what
no
we
matter
said last
who
night.
last night. No matter who enters your life, I feel like either they're meant to stay or they're not meant to stay. Lesson learned, a lesson.
Yeah, and you only hope best for whoever has came in your life, and vice versa. I only hope that person says, I hope the best for Sam. It didn't work out. It didn't work out. Like,
yeah, and vice versa. Like
not like some crazy like fuck that bit. I would hate that, and I don't want everyone to be like fuck that fucking pussy. Fuck that puta. No, I mean there's like obviously we have our moments, but you just want to be able to like move on because it does. It's all learning experiences, and it's all
and as learning experiences, and I definitely think that this era, this time period, our generation, everything it's more complicated than it was before. I mean, I feel like there's people back in like when there's no social media. I feel like they were more genuine.
oh my god.
Like,
I feel
grew up
that way.
before the internet.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel that way, but like I don't know for sure, but I feel like it was more genuine back then than it was now. Like even to like grandparents and grandmothers and great grandparents and great whatever.
Yeah.
Like people work through stuff. Like people work through it. Like
Yeah,
people
you work through your issues. You talk about it. You communicate.
you can
You take
Yeah.
it.
There's
It's
also
not
another
minute.
side to that is because people were expected to stay together, so they didn't leave if they weren't
Right.
happy.
That's true.
They
That's
don't-
you're right. They were expected.
There's two different sides of that. So I mean, I can understand both, and I respect both.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
for
sure.
sure.
I get that. We're working through your issues.
Yeah.
But I also don't feel like if you're in a toxic relationship for 20 plus years or 10 years or 15 years or 2 years, there's not going to be a medal given to you on how much you lost yourself inside that relationship. It's just not. Like you're going to come out and you're going to be like, what in the world happened? I lost myself. What am I doing? Like, who am I? And some people out there, like the older generations, pride themselves on working through it. Yes, that's great, but
It's not
But-
not all rainbows and
it's not all,
unicorn
like,
hoops.
like you work through it. But how many times did your husband beat you? How many times times were you cheated on when you just threw it under the rug? Because I feel like everything, and especially like now, everything can be communicated, and we like communication. But back in 1950s, it was always just brush it under the rug.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing happened. Just brush it under the rug. And so then,
Yeah, for
and then
sure.
so for generations, it happens that way. And then you have that suppressed, like, we're not going to talk about it. We're brushing it under the rug. And then you have those people raising kids that are like, don't talk about it, we're brushing it around, nothing's wrong, stop complaining. And then you have those, then there comes like a rebellion almost,
Right.
where
Which
people
is
are
what
like,
we're seeing now.
what we're seeing now is where people are like, I don't want to stay quiet. I'm going to voice everything I have because my mom said that I should voice everything because if I keep it up, then, it's
Yeah.
it's like a freaking cycle. It's crazy. And finding that balance and trying to find like just whatever these days is.
I mean, I do have to say there's been one person that has been in my life and whatever, and him and I had a very interesting relationship. However, the beauty of part of it was he was older than me, so he always said, you know what, I don't care what the conversations are going to look like. It can be a good conversation, it's going to be an uncomfortable conversation, but we're together. We're in this together. Let's figure it out. And I'm not going to just, if it's uncomfortable, well, it's uncomfortable. Like, we just have to be able to communicate. And once we can communicate, then we can figure out, after that. But let's communicate first before we start, because then we all start jumping the gun, like, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck. And I appreciate it, because then it's taught me so much about myself. Like, yes, communication's fucking huge, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's something I don't want to hear. It's like, ooh,
Totally. Communication is
even if it's, and then it's like, okay, you told me something very uncomfortable. Give me a minute.
Let me process
that. So I don't react the way I want to react. But let me process it. Give me that space for a minute, and then we can come back, communicate again, and then we can go from there. We don't do that. We all just got in that habit of just, we say something, we react, and then it's just fucking chaotic afterwards.
And then everybody
I
just
mean-
throws it away.
Yeah, I think that best, is not to react. I feel like it's definitely not to react. Just take time. Just
You gotta take that time to process.
Yeah, you have to take that time to process, and I actually like that because sometimes when you act out of emotion, it's not really what you meant.
No.
And then like 2 days, 3 days later, after you've had
That's me.
after you have time to like think about the situation, like, dang, okay, so I actually feel that blah 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 blah. I actually feel like, okay, like I feel like I can process that. I feel like this is okay. I feel like thank you for the enlightenment. Thank you for the whatever in the world is being said. I feel like that communication still needs to be there, but processing is definitely a huge thing. And I feel like nowadays, people like the reaction. People like to get the reaction. People not just people like to give a reaction, but they also like to get a reaction. So they will entice you and say stuff. And I don't even know what it could be. I'm just like throwing it out there. Like I just feel like people.
I have a list.
I don't know. I think I'm a little bit on the opposite side of that spectrum because I have a tendency of over-processing things. And I
So like
miss
overthinking,
overanalyzing, but also I think taking too much time to process what was said or what was done or whatever, and then missing the opportunity to continue.
I can see that, like missing. I mean, I've been told in my past, like I don't communicate. Like I try to communicate, but I don't communicate, and so they don't know how I felt because I took the time to overprocess, overthink, and I'm like, okay, actually this, and like it's.
Yeah.
So I don't like to.
So that's what me personally, that's what I try to work on now is like not getting so wrapped up into what it is or overthinking it or overanalyzing it or just kind of living for that current moment and like rolling with the punches and just
taking day by day.
So when you're when overthinking, when you're doing that, like for me, I sometimes find myself like, dang, like I wish I would have said this. I wish I would have said that. And that's where the time of taking to process. But even within that short time of not overthinking it or not overprocessing, you're
it's that weird space of trying to find the balance between both.
Yeah.
And that's a constant struggle. I mean, I know it's not just a struggle of mine. I'm everybody's got that struggle.
Yeah, no,
we
definitely.
all have it.
Yeah.
But again, it goes back to
Yeah.
no one's perfect.
Yeah.
No one's relationship is, so beautiful where they're like, you're like, man, I want that relationship. No fucking way. I don't believe you. Prove it. Prove it that's that perfect. No, because we all have our issues. But it's that part where you find that boundary, you find that respect, you find that communication, you find
But in healthy ways.
yeah. No, very healthy ways. Because I've gotten into the thing where last night we were talking about like our therapy and stuff. Well, a little thing about me is I have anger issues.
What?
You don't say.
No.
Dun, dun,
I
dun.
I don't believe this for a second.
Let me tell you guys. Hello, my name's Samantha Urbano, and I have anger issues.
And you know what? Honestly, I feel like
No, they're really bad.
you have come a long way.
I am. I haven't knocked anyone out in a really long time.
The bitch I met
Yeah.
and the bitch I know
But that's also
Are
the thing is like it's
two
like
people in the same,
yeah.
but very different.
I haven't drop kicked anyone, okay, guys?
I mean, it's been what, like 4 years now?
Yeah. But it's like
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how because it's like I like to fight. But I also like that's my thing too. I've learned you need to like back up for a minute because I'm about from really running across this room and doing a DDT like someone. Yeah. My mama didn't bring no bitch. But no, it is. It's hard for me because I know because my level goes. I'm a 0. We all know. We all are laughing at it. I am. I'm like 0 to 100 real quick on people. So when I found my therapy, which is yoga, it was like you need to rein it in, man. Figure it out. But I've been better.
Yes.
Better. But I've been trying. I'm like, you're gonna be with me. You better take all of me because it's a whole lot. She's like, as I'm driving the other day, just flipping off someone. Like, I was like, you see this? Mm-hmm. Yep. Fuck you. I love it at the same time.
Yeah, and
sit on it.
I actually have found I can say I guess I think I still go from a 0 to 100, but I also have found like not as much as anymore because I have found within me personally through my therapy through everything that not every obviously you don't need to. What are you doing? Some kids back there. Shut the fuck up. We're doing a podcast. Like, I actually want to react with more of a kindness, kind of like understanding point of view, because I figured out when I react in a gonna fucking sock you in the face or gonna fucking tell you off, I actually turn back on it and I don't like that on myself. Like I
regret it.
I regret it. I don't like it. I feel like I'm like, damn, like I should have just acted with a little more class than that. But sometimes
Well, it's
I
not
get
even
this
I'm like,
class,
oh.
It's more like compassion and empathy.
yeah, no, definitely. But I should definitely like I all of it. Like I just feel like
Well, no, and that's like me. I like after I do punch someone out because
I feel like
I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry.
I
for
feel
that.
like
Let me-
at work, especially, like you definitely kind of just rein it in, and I feel like all of our sense of humor, like our dark sense of humor, our smart ass mouths and everything, actually are just a reaction. You know?
Oh, yeah.
We another so instead of punching somebody, instead of saying, you know what, fuck you, fuck your opinions,
Yeah.
fuck everything, like, okay, thank you. Period.
Sure.
Sure. Sure.
That's what it is. Do you need a
Yeah, do you need a
It
refill?
is what it is, and no, I don't need it.
No, I know. I have gotten better. I have to admit that. People have just been making me so upset lately. I'm like, really? Bet. Say it to my face and see what happens later.
But they're never going to.
Never. No, then that's the other thing. It's like, dude, if you actually knew me, just talk to me. Communicate with me. Tell me the truth. Be honest. Prepare me. Prepare me for what's going to happen. Like, say it's going to be a very uncomfortable conversation. All right, let me get a beer.
Right, I think like I've gotten the comment before, and I think you guys can relate, is I'm one of the nicest assholes out there.
Yeah.
Like I totally know I'm an asshole. I get it. And whatever. But when I care about people, when I trust people, when I'm friends with people, like that shit runs fucking deep.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I go out of my way.
Well, and I think that's like it's all of us right here. We all go out of our way. You got, what, a Leo? No, Libra.
Yeah.
And then we got a Cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a Virgo.
Yeah.
We're a mixture of
Cancers
everything.
are like known for just going above, like literally emotionally, but above and beyond, and like all these freaking memes that I fucking see about cancers are always like,
She always sends me about me. And I'm like, you know what?
you don't send me about me.
I know. She'll be like, you're this. I'm like,
I'm just saying, like, all these are things are like cancers act with emotion. Cancers give out way more than they receive back. And it's like, is this worldwide? Is this fucking real?
Well,
Is this
just to bring it back to like
true?
the dating situation, is like cancers, like, yeah, I've witnessed it. Like you give out more than you get back. Period.
So it's worldwide.
period.
Is this world?
Sure, period.
This is like every cancer. And this like sucks because I'm like, why the fuck not? Why the fuck not? Why the fuck not give all?
There it is. Let it go, sister. Why? Let it out, sister.
Let it
No,
out.
you guys are making it seem like I'm gonna make this huge ass
No,
thing.
but I mean, you're right.
Why not just give it my all? Like, why not just give
That's
some?
a huge ass point.
Yeah,
Why
it is
not-
a huge ass point. It's
Why not just get? Why the fuck not give it a all? Like, why? Like, why do I have to play games? Why do I have to hold back? Why do I have to? All right, I'm good.
why not? But that is a big point, and it's not. It's like people don't realize. I'm a Virgo, so it's like, oh, we're on a whole other little Virgos over here. I know she sent me something the other day, and I was like, no, that's how I'm feeling right now.
I send you stuff all the time, and I'm just like, this is you. You push people away. You act. What was that one where you're like, fuck you?
And then bring it out. Let me bring this shit out. I just said, fuck you. That's all I thought.
I was like, it's you. It was like something that like Virgos.
I did. I just texted her. I said, fuck you.
It was like something of like Virgos try to focus on other people instead of focusing on their problems because they actually have their own fucking issues of imperfectness, and they like to project their other focusing on other people because it makes it easier.
Yeah, I put fuck you.
And then she was all, and then she sent me another one. I didn't say anything back. Fuck you.
Fucking trying to tell me. Nothing to say to me, Alicia. No. I'm gonna try to find it. Hold on. Now I'm on
There's a
it.
lot to go through.
Dude.
Oh my god.
I sent you. I sent you a lot. I'm like, oh yeah.
She does. I'll be at work and all of a sudden.
Oh my god. I have to say. What is it? Like, let me read it out loud. I have to show the picture. Oh, this is what you sent me. If you put your ass on this as a kid, you like your ass ate now. I don't make the rules, and it's a fucking one of those. It's one of those things in a pool jet. It's a pool jet. There we go.
You know what that shit is, and you know, like every little kid's all.
Oh god.
Oh,
Damn it.
I don't think it's gonna show with the glare.
I know. I'm like, can you kind of see what I'm trying to show?
It's a pool.
But it was funny because the other day we took the kids swimming and her son and my nephew were putting their dicks on it. And they're going, riding a horse. This feels funny. And I was like, what the? Like, sorry. Oh, like, sorry.
What's in store for you? Anyway.
Anyway, sorry, I had to go on that. This shit was so fucking funny. God, there's some funny ass shit that we do.
Memories, whatever. Anyway, so I mean, dating.
Dating. I'm sure everyone's like, and that's the other thing. I can't. I love New Mexico. You're my peeps. Love you guys. But every time I turn the corner, everyone's like, oh yeah. It is. It's a small city.
Back to my comment. It's the biggest fucking small town.
And
in
it's
the
not
world.
like I'm like, it's just like, I just don't want to do it.
No, thank you.
Yeah. So, sick.
Oy.
She's vigorously texting right now. She's scaring
Well,
me.
really.
It's just like I can hear the tapping.
I'm like a Samantha.
Oh no! That's it. Bring out the notepad and like really digest what you're gonna.
That's me. I'm like,
write it out.
you know what?
Rough draft and
you
final
want to
draft.
bet? You want to say something like that?
Here we go.
So yeah, dating. I don't know. It's weird. Don't be douches. Be humans. And that goes for women and men. Be a human. Like just don't be an ass.
Yeah, just have some compassion. Have some
Yeah.
empathy. Show some actual human connection. Like
And if you're trying to just try to fuck
be
somebody,
communicative.
yeah. If you're just trying to fuck someone, just say, hey, I'm trying to fuck you, and then you're probably gonna own up to it. Don't be like, well, no, just say it, and then because the
You
response
probably
is,
have a better chance of getting what you want if you're honest with it than
Yeah.
you do if you just bullshit somebody.
yeah, no, and just respect one another. Like that's so huge. Just respect one another, love one another, be a human, and be honest. That's all. I mean, it's not hard.
Yeah, I think honestly.
You guys are probably like, you guys are fucking maniacs.
Honesty is huge. I feel
Okay,
like.
look at the president right now. Calm down.
You only get one.
Yeah. You only get one microphone.
I like honesty. I
mean-
do like honesty and communication. I don't like the bullshit. I don't like.
Well, no,
And
one
that,
once a
might
day.
be, that might be a cancer thing too. I don't
I
like the.
think you're going to be hard pressed to find somebody who says they don't like honesty and communication, but their actions are going to speak 100% different.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's going to say, I love
I love it.
honest.
Yeah.
Communicate with me.
Because when
Be
they
honest
actually
with
do
me.
it, they don't know how. They're like, I love it. I want that too.
But their actions on it, like,
Are
tell a whole
complete,
different
yeah,
story.
super
so
fucking.
it's different between saying
Yeah.
something and
So
doing
like
something.
action. Yeah, I get that. I mean actions.
I am like, dude, be about it.
Yeah.
Be
Show
it.
me.
And when actions don't match words,
There's, that's where you see everything.
yeah, that's where
Yeah.
you see everything. Like you should definitely need someone's actions over their words.
You see the true colors.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, wow, like you don't like honesty. You don't like communicating.
Red flag.
And I'm like, oh,
I think it looks a little pink, maybe.
you're like, how far? Okay.
Are we getting more red or less red as we go through?
Yeah. Well, thanks guys for joining. I know
Yeah,
we were on like
that's
100
fun.
different subjects, but I kind of figured that was going to happen with this one just because it's like there's so much dating. Everyone has a different experience. We're all different.
It's a different experience for every person who goes
And
through it.
every time, when you're single or even when you're in relationships too, it's just like there's so much happening. You can't just like, we can express like what we want, and there's probably people out there like, I don't want any of that. I want to play games. Like, or like,
Right.
like fuck you guys. Like, I like to play games. Like, but that's just reality. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. But I know this conversation we're everywhere with it. But
It's real.
it's real, and it's so like it's like an everyday thing. You experience something every day, and different in our world. We all have different lives. We're single moms doing this whole thing, and you're out there trying to fucking find a man.
Hey, dude, like just trying to
Yeah,
do his thing.
Gay dude in Albuquerque is like
when there's different expectations of what
and it's,
gayness looks like or queerness or whatever. And it's tough navigating sometimes.
I'm glad that you came on there and even said that, because it's like we were talking about what we were going to talk about this. How we were going to bring this up. Is it just going to be her and I? But obviously, you know, it's her and I dating, like, you know what I mean? Like, not
Right.
us dating, but like, you know what I mean? Like our experiences, but it's also like, no one also talks about from a, you know, the gay man experience, or even if we could bring someone like one of our friends, a lesbian, on here, it's a whole different world out there that we don't know what's going on, but it's the same thing, you know, it's almost like,
There's common elements throughout every single different experience. There's those same elements that kind of translate through everything.
yeah, exactly.
And I mean, it boils down to that communication, that honesty, that like be upfront with yourself, be honest with yourself, realize who you are, what you want.
Yeah.
Like
Don't hide behind the phone.
set your standards and expectations, and don't settle for them, because why should you?
Exactly. Why should you?
You are worth at least that much and more. So you shouldn't have to settle or give somebody a pass for something, for what you want out of your life, what you want to build for your future. Because like dating is to build a future. Like I'm not just gonna go date somebody just like, yeah, like if I'm dating somebody, if I'm getting into it, I'm dating them for a purpose. Like I want to establish something more real, more connected, more everything.
So I saw a TikTok, and it was, and it was actually a really good one. It was this guy, and he was like, if you're dating for fun, he said, don't date for fun, because people's hearts are not games. Don't date for fun. If you want to have fun, go skydiving. Go pick up a hobby. If you want to have fun, it's not somebody else's mind. It's not somebody else's heart.
No.
It's just not. So I totally agree with that.
No.
I totally agree with that, because you said games earlier. That's what reminded me. You said games, and I'm like, I hate games.
No.
I don't like games. I feel like if I feel a certain way about somebody, that person will know. If and I would like to, you know, like if someone feels a certain way about me, like just fucking communicate. Just communicate. Like
Simple reciprocation.
Yeah, exactly. And
Either the effort is there or it's not.
and
I mean, we could have called this just communicate. Like,
it just goes back to the, like, it's like you said games, and then you were bringing up like that whole situation. Like, you're dating for a purpose,
Right.
and that's what a lot of people are doing. But then also there's a lot of people that are not dating for a purpose.
and that's fine. And like if you don't want to date for
But
that's
then
fine,
you also
but
have
say
to be
it.
on the same. You have to stay on the same level with that, because you can't just tell one person, "Hey, I'm dating you," and
That's so often the problem, is that it's just one-sided. Like somebody knows something and the other person doesn't.
yeah, like like that's what I'm like. Yeah, like one person's like, "I'm just doing this for fun. I'm doing this to pass time. I'm doing this just as
Damn, if someone said I'm doing this to pass time, I'd be like, damn, well then
no people. No,
Wow.
seriously, like.
well then my time is done.
Like, no, but people do that. People meet people just to pass time. They
Oh,
know
yeah.
they're not gonna
Well,
find
no,
their
I
soulmate.
mean,
They actually know that there's no intention of that at all. So
Right.
they just do it and it's hundreds, like millions of people do that, and we don't realize
we
that.
gotta kill some time. You
Yeah,
got like
people-
a good 2 months.
Exactly.
Let's see
But
what happens.
people also don't realize that there's another end. There's that other person that you have affected, that doesn't know that, like, you're just doing this for fun. There's also the other person that doesn't know that you're passing time, and doesn't know this person. And it just goes back to communication, like you were talking about.
Yeah, it just goes back.
There's millions of people that are doing this. Like you read. I read. I can read.
She can read, y'all.
Apparently we don't have good speech,
like,
but we
there's,
can
like-
read.
Read.
And it's not just, I want to say, not just Albuquerque that sucks. It's like all over. It's like it's not.
I'm like, ooh.
It is just.
We
it's
got
all
another
around.
40 minutes.
No, I'm sure I would just be like, I want to get the fuck out of here if I can, just to go experience a whole other thing. It's just like I feel like I'm just going in circles. Like
Right.
nothing's changing. It's the same thing. That's why I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just do my own thing right now. I'm gonna just focus on what I need to focus on and keep my life kind of just to myself. Like, you know, obviously my friends and my family know, my friends, I love my family, but I love my mom and dad, but there's only so much I can tell those two before they fucking have a heart attack.
Oh, Sandy.
Oh, Sandy, and Simply Sandy. We're trying to make a show called Simply Sandy Show, but she didn't like it. She wasn't feeling it.
Love that.
She wasn't feeling it.
Oh,
She's not been feeling a lot of things lately.
That's a whole other conversation. Woo!
Yeah, she attacked Lisa the other day.
Do not talk to her about taxes.
Woo! I just put my head down and I was like, you walked in a danger zone. Welcome to my life for the past.
Danger.
Yeah. I was like, okay, Lucia, it was nice talking to you. I'm gonna
It
go
was,
here. No, I'm
it
kidding.
was nice knowing you, Alicia.
Yeah.
And my mom said I can't play with you.
Yeah, my mom said we can't hang out anymore. You're
My
being a
mom
little
said
bitch.
Don't talk about taxes.
Oh my god, no. But anyways, yeah. But my friends know, and I mean, it's just, it is what it is. I keep my life. I do keep it very. I do keep my life, my relationships or whatever private. I'm not. I don't. I even when I was with Milo's, I never like posted pictures of us all. We're happy, but I just don't. Because it's, you know what I mean? Because it just is. It's not.
It's not you.
It's not me. I like my privacy with that person, and I don't like the fact that social media has completely ruined it either. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that you're not
I
actually a couple unless you post a picture.
yeah, no, and that's like a whole other conversation. Jesus Christ, it's like you have to make a statement, like, you know, no,
Oh, but yeah, like post me. Like no,
Yeah.
yeah, like social media has totally
well,
ruined
then
that.
post me, motherfucker. Bet.
No, it's like a thing. Like I get that. I don't get it because social media has ruined that for relationships. Like it should be private and in a situation.
And I like my relationship being private because what we have, I mean, don't get me wrong. I do like to sit, if we're out on an adventure together or, you know, doing something insane, like, you know,
fishing.
like fishing or exactly like fishing
Fishing.
or hiking or, you know, something that's getting really amazing barbecue or, you know, whatever, like doing something that we're both in, like, and it's fun, but I don't need to post pictures of us kissing or holding hands or, because it's just not me. I don't like it. I don't need people being in my, you know what I mean, or that kind of stuff. I just don't. It's just never gonna be me, and I'm not. I don't do it. And so, like I said, my friends know, my closest people know, my like where I'm at in my relationships and stuff like that. And that's just private, you know.
Right.
But I also have respect for that person. I'm not gonna just go post a fucking nude and be like, oh, it's normal.
Looky.
Anyways, yeah. Relationships,
Back
guys.
to the OS.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for doing this almost 2-hour episode. I knew this was
Yeah.
gonna happen. I knew. I called it. I was like, this is gonna be a long night because all three of us together. Well, we haven't all hung out in a while,
Right.
so we all needed that moment. But you know, it's a fun conversation because it's literally a conversation that we talk about
All the time.
all the time. Like every time we all hang out, we're like.
And I'm pretty sure this is an ongoing conversation for
Okay.
so many other people.
Yeah.
So I want to say one thing about on talking to people once a bit. So in therapy, I know I'm fucking therapy. Blah blah blah. Lisa and I got therapy. Anyways,
I'm going to school.
so it's like. Anyways,
I know.
one thing that my therapist had told me as well was the mind. To heal itself, the mind has a healing mechanism of processing, of always just talking about it, always thinking about it. So the more that you talk about something, the more that you think about something, your mind is actually healing itself. It's healing itself for a situation, maybe if it was traumatic, or maybe it wasn't traumatic, or maybe if you want to talk about it. That's why therapy, is because the more you talk about a situation, you come down to a resolution, or you figure out the core of it or the seed of it, whatever. But that's also why you have friends, and that's why they also matter, and that's why talking to people, and not just talking to people, but like in your own mind, if it was journaling or anything, like just rehashing those events to help yourself heal.
Yeah, and
So
no, well, I would say
done.
one more thing after that because I have to say it now. I feel like bridesmaid where she's like, okay, and I'm on the stage and start speaking Spanish. She's like, and Cosiana. But yeah. But yeah, that's why you do have friends, and that's why you do speak about it. Not
Well,
friends are bad,
As
or
long
like,
as you have the right friends.
oh no, exactly.
The right friends that actually
Yeah,
listen
and they're
to you
not
and
bad
and
influences
not
or
bad
like-
influences and not judgmental and not like not like that. Like it's
Well, because I also
yes,
think
I did take it away.
I told you the space between us. No,
It totally
because
is that.
well, because I like you said that, and it's like people have said like our conversations, and I'm going to put this out there. When people talk to us, we never judge you. We never go about saying anything. If we have conversations between us, I know if I've had relationships with like, well, you tell your friends everything. Well, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Yeah, I do, because sometimes I do need to tell them something because I need to get it off my chest. They're gonna sit there and they're gonna listen, and they in half time they're just like, it's all good, dude. Like, that doesn't sound fucking crazy. Or like,
Cool beans, yo.
yeah, it literally it's just like, or it's just feedback, and it's like, okay, we're here to support you. It's never like the other way, like people
It's
think
also
it.
like this.
It's
friendship
also-
is like,
Sorry,
what
I'm
do you
doing
need
a whole
from
other
us? Like,
tangent.
what do you need from us? So like, do you want us to listen? Do you want a solution? Like that's
And that's
Yeah.
that's what friends are like, devil's advocate.
Totally.
I think Sam has called me that many times of where I just give her the point of view that she actually does not want to hear.
Oh, I never want to hear it, but I'm like, I need to hear it. You know what I mean? Like,
And she's
something
put that
to consider.
she's put that out to me, and I'm like, and that's what you do for each other. And I think that's also that's just what you do. And there's never like, if you disagree, then you disagree. If you agree, then you agree. If you'd be like, you know what? Cool. Like,
I mean, there's never like a malicious intent behind it. Like,
No.
Never.
we're there for support. We're there to help each other. Like that's all it is. Like we're a shoulder to lean on, somebody to have your back when you don't know if you can have your own.
Right.
So being able to sound off on these issues that you might have issues with, like
it's a sounding board.
it's a sounding board. It's nothing
I
more.
have to
it's
say that
nothing
that's
less.
where dialogue was at. We all had a sounding board there.
Yeah.
We were a huge sounding board. I think that's why everyone's so close to one another. Just like we were a big sounding board, and everyone got to even set like our customers, the work environment. We were just a sounding board to one another.
How many customers like just talked about random things that they just need to get off their chest, and then
And we
they
were just
better.
like, yeah, why it was cold.
or when you see that one guy that brings in like a different date each night.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's fun.
That's like those are.
I miss those nights so bad, dude.
Like it was so funny. Like
Or like the girl that would come in and you'd be like,
I know what you ordered. Oh no. Oh
No.
you didn't. Oh you didn't order that. Oh crap.
Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, you remember that one time we came over here for the sour raspberry? She's like, I've never been here before. Oh my God, I had a dream that we came here, and you're like, yeah, that was a dream. Because you were here last night with our homegirl. Or my favorite was the girls that would come in. Like that's a whole other thing. It's like the one specific girl that would always come in at dialogue.
And leave with somebody else.
And always left with someone else, and then come back the next day, and
Which one?
she's like, where was I at last night? I'm like, oh
my God.
oh
Oh my God! Do you remember the time that she came in and like that night, and then she like left with 3 guys, and then she came back the next day, like at like whenever we opened.
And left again.
Oh my God! Her hair was like all ratted. Her clothes were all messed up.
I just
She's
like, go get it, girl, go
she's
get
like,
it.
I actually
Like,
haven't gotten
get your
any
thing.
sleep, and I'm like, girl, you need to brush your teeth.
You need a shower.
You need a
Oh.
shower. Like you need to.
I feel like we're
detox.
you need to do a deep cleaning. You should go dip your body in bleach.
Give a scrub it down.
You need
Go
to do a
dip it in
beach wash.
acetone. Just go dip it.
Anyway, sorry guys, we went off another tangent. But,
Okay.
well, thank you guys for joining 2-hour episode of WYD on the Juices of the Squeeze. We'll be doing another episode next week, right?
You know what? Oh, why not? Because it's not supposed to be next week. It's supposed to be another week.
Yeah, it's we might as well just keep going. Live our best lives, right? That's what
And
That's
improve
what
ourselves all the
I'm
time.
vibing. That's what the generation. I'm vibing.
It's a vibe.
Oh,
It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
Oh, I can't be vibing. Like, can I say that now?
No, because I picture you like vibing in the wind. Like one of those winds.
I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys can laugh at us. And
Yeah, I mean, and also thank you for having me. It's been
of course.
fun, always blessed.
honestly, like this was like the first episode, like when we actually were trying to do a podcast that night. Ended up horribly and got wasted drunk on fucking bottles of wine. I remember just like waking up and I was like, oh shit, there's
What
6
the
bottles of
fuck?
wine. Who finished those? Who drank all these fucking wine bottles? Not me.
Oh, and that was like I was like allergic to your cat. I was like sneezing and like everything was everywhere. And I thought I was gonna die.
Oh yeah. All the fun times. If you guys ever want to join us, please
Yeah.
reach out. And if you don't, I get it. No offense. No offense taken. No offense.
No offense taken from us.
Yeah, we're all good. But yes,
Totally understand.
Justin's like, I have to deal with these two. Our next episode is actually going to be called The Fruit of Our Loins, which is about our children,
Yeah, it's about our kids.
about being parents again. I'm sure we'll be on in a whole other world that too. So we'll see. We'll see where that one goes.
Oh, it's gonna be fun because I'm gonna bring up some
And-
situations that like raising kids because kids really do say the funniest things
Oh yeah.
and they don't
Say
have a
the damnedest
filter.
thing.
They literally like the innocent, purest things. You're just like, you know that like you have something on your nose. And I'm
As
like,
much as you as parents experience what kids say and they say the damnedest things, they say even more shit when their parents aren't around.
I have a 13-year-old, and it's very disturbing when I hear them talk about it. I'm like, hey, what? You don't say your balls in your mouth. What the fuck are you doing? But then we have that, and then we have our next episode, which is going to be called Pumper.
Pampar. And if you haven't looked it up, you should look it up.
Which we have a really funny story that we've been dying. We were gonna say it at this episode, and then I texted Lucy. I was like, "No, this is not the time we tell a story. We actually have to tell it at that time." So we have a really, really funny experience that we went through. Story, and we have
Story.
told so many people. Some people are like,
Story time.
"Yeah," so many people are like, "We've heard it," but it's something that you just never thought you'd go through. So
It's fun. It's a fun story. I mean, it's
hilarious, and we just cannot wait to share it with you guys. So stay tuned. We hope you have a wonderful night. Be safe. Drink lots of beer and water.
Get your water.
Get your water, hydrate, and have a good night. Bye. Did you want to say bye, or are you going to text?
Bye, Felicia.